Hi everybody. So welcome to this new video, and the purpose of this video is actually to go over our final assignment. So first of all, congratulations to making it to our last assignment of the semester, or the last big assignment. So give yourself a pat on the back for making it this far. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel now, so congratulations on that. And what you will need to sort of follow along is our revised schedule, and that was attached to the email, and also the final research essay or paper prompt. I will be going over that later. So as usual, these notes are in our notes of the day, and I usually include a link to that in the email I send. And here we are on page 33. So basically I sort of took our revised schedule, and let me go ahead and show that to you. So it looks like this. Started with week 9, and after you turned in essay number 3, here we are on week 12. And basically I'm taking all the remaining weeks and turning them just into a notes overview version, so that you can sort of see the big overview macro look at what are we going to be accomplishing in the last remaining weeks of the semester. But you should be following along in the schedule just so that you're clear on what the details are. Okay, so the main thing that you should be aware of is that the focus of our last unit, and we'll take a look at what it looks like in Canvas, is we're going to be reading the other Westmore, but the paper will also be teaching you how to do research as well. So hopefully by now you obviously should have the book. I've been reminding you a couple of times, and that will be the focus of the next couple weeks, is basically just reading the book, doing discussions about that. But when we write the paper, we're going to be writing about the other Westmore, but also incorporating research. Okay, so the next couple weeks, weeks 12, and that due date is going to be April 22nd, and then week 13, April 29th, they're going to be focused on the book. So if you follow along in the schedule, next week you should have read up until chapter 5 of the other Westmore. Let me make sure I format everything. So a little MLA note: when you use the title of a book, you're going to use italics. And then you can follow along both in Canvas and on the schedule that for each week there's going to be a discussion forum and a dialogue journal. So different kinds of writing assignments. And then for the next week, week 13, by April 29th, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to finish the book. It's a pretty short book. It's only like a little over 100 pages. And I hope you enjoy the book as much as I do. It's a true story about two men with the same name and how they have very different paths in life. And it really connects to a lot of the themes that we've been talking about throughout the semester. So it's a good way to sort of cap off our semester. So you're going to do the same kind of thing. It'll be a different topic for the discussion forum, and then you're going to have another dialogue journal. So the other thing I wanted to bring up that you'll see in our calendar is that I want you to save the date. So up until now, we haven't had any sort of in-class or taught our class over Zoom, with the exception of some optional ones. But on Monday, so this is actually a Monday, April 27th, for just the first hour, 12:30 to 1:30, and there will be a Zoom link sent out. I might send it out with this email, but I'll remember to send it out again. One of our wonderful librarians, she's actually embedded into our class right now so she can see what we're doing. Her name is Marianne, is going to lead a research orientation over Zoom. So because we can't be there in person, she's going to walk us through how to start thinking about the research paper and how to get comfortable doing research with the library database, and that's going to be one of the requirements for the paper. So even though it's a little bit early as we're thinking about the paper, you won't even be writing it yet, it's good to have that strategy sort of taught to you early. So I would say you'll see this on our calendar, but you should put this in your own personal calendar so that you save this time. Monday, April 27th, 12:30 to 1:30. And if you participate, you show up, in whatever activities we do over the Zoom, you will earn 5 points. Okay, so the last few weeks before finals are going to be pretty minimal. The beginning of May, your research outline is due. There's a discussion forum. And then the last couple weeks before finals, there is actually no work due. I just want you to be writing your paper, and then I'll be setting up sort of office hours over Zoom so that you can get help as you need it. But I really want to allow you the time to be working on the essay, because as I pull up the essay prompt and go over it with you, you'll see that it is worth a lot of points. So I want you to have that time to work on it and do the best you can. And then the final for us, you want to make sure you save this, is Wednesday, May 20th. That's when our final paper is due by 3 p.m. And because final grades are due so quickly after final exams, no late papers will be accepted. So make sure you have this deadline in your own calendar so that you make sure you turn in everything on time. So I want to just quickly go over the essay prompt. There we go. So this will be attached to the email. You can follow along. So you'll see, first of all, this is worth 250 points. So this can really help bump you up to the next grade level, moving from a B to an A, for example, or if you're not passing, it might be able to help you if you're a borderline. So you will see that this is primarily about the book. So I'm going to kind of, I'll read the background just to help us out. So our discussions and activities about the other Westmore will help us grapple with complicated themes like poverty, crime, education, and how families and role models could influence success in a young person's life. So we're going to be taking all the discussions and activities that you do in weeks 12 and 13. All those ideas are going to help us use that as a jumping off point. So here is the prompt. It needs to be 2,000 to 2,500 words, okay? And that generally works out to be about 8 pages. And you're going to answer this question. What were the most important factors that shaped these men? And so when you drill down into the questions, you want to think about, was it their family that shaped them the most? Was it their role models? So other than their family, they have different other people that served as role models that shaped them. Was it their environment? So the places where they grew up, or the schools they went to that shaped them? Or was it something internal? Was it their inner character? So that connects more to like mindset, grit, who they are on the inside, how they think about the world, and their morals. So it could be a combination of these, or if you just want to focus on 1 or 2, that's fine too. So that's, as you're reading the book, my big suggestion to you is to have this essay question at your forefront of your mind so that you can keep asking yourself, what were the most important factors, and be thinking about the essay as you're reading it, so that will help guide you along the way. And then this will seem similar to what we've been working on. There's only a couple of new things. So again, thesis, clear argument, pie paragraphs, transitions. We're going to talk about a counter argument this time. Introduction, conclusion, clear sentences, 3 quotes from the book. So this is what's new this time. Research from at least 4 credible sources from the library. And it doesn't have to be, those research articles don't have to be about the book. They actually should be about something more universal. So they need to show about how the factors that you're talking about are actually universal issues to all of us. So the idea about how family is an important factor that shapes all of us, or how role models are an important factor that shapes all of our lives. And so this is what we're going to be talking about in the research orientation, is how do you start to weave in research to your essay. So I would say sort of hold off on that, worrying about that, until April 27th. That's when we're really going to learn how do you do research and how do you weave it in to your essay in a meaningful way. And then these are the deadlines that we talked about. So I'm going to sort of minimize this for now. What I want to add here is probably around week 12 or 13, I will send a video going over a sample research, and I will show you how So at this point, it probably feels a little bit overwhelming, like, okay, has to be 8 pages, we have to do research. How do you move from the shorter essays we've done to such a long, bigger essay? So that will be my next video. So probably not this week, because you're still finishing essay 3, but next week I'm going to pull up a sample, and I'm going to go over step by step what a sample essay looks like, and how do you move your ideas from a shorter essay to a longer essay. So right now I just kind of want to go over what the schedule looks like, and then in the next couple weeks we're going to start looking at the building blocks. How do we get there? Okay, so I just want to quickly show you where do you start to look. And so if you look at 99X, modules, the good news is we are now in Unit 3, our last unit, and everything is arranged by week, so hopefully that's a little more clear. It shows you the other West more, and then it's for the weeks 12 and 13, and then the last few weeks it's just the research paper. So I would suggest you start to look around, especially 99X that has all the extra helpful resources, and start to familiarize yourself with some of the ideas that might be helpful. And for now, I would say just stay on schedule with the reading. Read the prompt a couple of times and start to get familiar with the overall question. And then just make sure you stay on top of my videos. Every week, I will be sending more helpful videos of how do we start to write this paper. And then I look forward to seeing all of you on the 27th so that we can start to do this research. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, feel free to email me. Okay, so I look forward to seeing you all online. Have a great week. Bye.